Hey everyone, this is Wallaby and today I'll be covering my Hunter's skill build for Trio Savior Neo. I'll also show gameplay where I show my skill rotation and combos in action. Now, setting skills in Trio Savior Neo is quite complicated. It took a lot of testing and researching before I found something effective. This build has done quite well for me relative to my nearly 700,000 power and level 60 account, and this is true for both manual and auto. Now, if you're going to spend in Trio Savior Neo, I'd highly recommend Huawei AppGallery, which is my sponsor and also the service I use to save money and get a lot of free stuff. AppGallery is Huawei's official app store with thousands of mobile games available for download with exclusive rewards and cashback offers. Click on the link in my description to download AppGallery. To take advantage of all the benefits, make sure you register an account with Argentina as the country. For phone number later on, you can still use your own country's phone number. However, if you had AppGallery account before, you can change the settings via Me, Settings, and then Country or Region. I'd follow these steps to change from Canada to Argentina so I could get the free stuff and the benefits. You'll also be asked to install the HMS Core, which is required. And in case you had previously downloaded Trio Savior Neo, uninstall it or there may be conflicts. You can bind your Trio Savior account to an email so you won't lose your progress when you reload it on the AppGallery. So what benefits do you get? Users that install Trio Savior Neo from AppGallery for the first time will be able to claim a free $1.98 US coupon. In my link, you can open it in AppGallery and then click Obtain. Then you'll see $1.98 USD as a coupon so you can buy things for free in-game. This is especially good to get the Gold Cat for the first-time purchases, so I'd highly recommend you take advantage of that. For example, here I buy the Rainbow Gems. It costs less than $1, and then I can choose that coupon that I had redeemed to basically cost me nothing. So this is a great way to get free stuff right away with AppGallery. There is also a coupon code for getting free gifts. Click Obtain under Free Gift Code, then get the code via the Claim button. Go to Settings, Basic, and Redeem Code, and put in the code. Your character does need to be above level 16 to have the redeem code functionality. Also, for purchases, you get 20% cashback coupons. For example, I make this purchase and I see PayPal gives me 20% cashback for future purchases. After the purchase, I go back and see 10 cents for my future purchase. If you want to see these cashback coupons, go to Me, Username, Payment and Purchases, and then Coupons. Also, AppGallery is available not only on Huawei phones, but on Android devices and Android emulators. I'm using an Android emulator right now to show this. So if you want to get awesome discounts on Trio Savior Neo and get a lot of free stuff, then try Huawei AppGallery today. Now, the first confusing thing about skills is how to get more points. For example, for R1 skills, I have 77 points. Next, for R2 skills, I have 35. Now, there are people who are level 60 who have much more points for R1, but why is that? Well, when you get excess EXP, you can choose to invest in R1 or R2 skills. For example, here I show I use my excess EXP to invest 2 extra points into my R1 skill points. At least for my build, I need more R1 skill points, so I'm investing in this as my priority. Next, if I was promoted to Shadowblade already, then why aren't I using its skills? For Trio Savior Neo, some people stick with Hunter skills and some use Shadowblade. I think it's up to your playstyle and how you test it out. For example, on my server, the first clear for Aim on Hard has 2 Hunters. For Ruin, he is using Hunter skills. I did view some top players to see what they were using and did some trial and error. They do have more points than me as my leveling hasn't been optimal for EXP. At least on my server, I find there's a lot more people using Hunter skills. However, next on the same team, there is Divine, who's using Shadowblade skills. So even on the same team, they found something optimal. Also, another great tip is to look at the top player's skills as a way to inspire you and to know which skills are most efficient. But personally, when I use Shadowblade and test, I much prefer the Hunter playstyle, and the damage is greater with Hunter skills for me. Next, here's my PvE build. First, this build is heavily reliant on Eye of Eagle, which is great. It gives 20% more damage and a big accuracy boost. It also removes the cooldown of Twin Slash, which is the combo people mentioned for Hunter. The combo is Twin Slash, then Eye of Eagle to refresh, then Twin Slash again. I also got Eye of Eagle enhanced to level 10, which is the prerequisite for the R2 skill. The R2 skill gives Wind Ride, so for 8 seconds I get 20% more damage, plus accuracy plus 13.4 thousand, which is huge. Next I invest in Twin Slash Heavy. This is your high damaging skill. I max that out so I can invest in the R2 skill, Enhanced Twin Slash, for more damage. I also further have it scale with Strength for another enhancement. Next, from my tests, this Swift Feather Spike does a lot of damage. Despite the 13-second cooldown, it does quite well, so I maxed it out, and that allows me to use the Enhanced Feather Spike in R2 as well. Then I invest in the second enhancement to have it scale with Strength. I had played around with Shadow Flash, and even at max, the damage isn't that great for me despite the 6-second cooldown. Though more spammable, the damage modifiers just weren't high enough. I did invest a point in it so it's something I can use while other skills are on cooldown. And same with Imprison Raids, when I tried this max it wasn't too great either, so I just put a few points in it for some extra damage. Next for stats, I invest in Crit Up. I really lack crit, so I really need it badly. And finally, I invest in the passive to give more damage to bosses when in win right state, which is from my enhanced Eye of Eagle. Now if you don't want to build this yourself or follow my build, this was the build that gave me the most damage. You can certainly try the recommended plans, and that was what I was using before, but I found with the number of skill points I had, it just wasn't optimal, and in fact didn't even give me Eye of Eagle, so it's definitely not working out for me for PvE. Next, I'll show my top run for today. First, I use my cat pals since the cooldown on those are long, then I do Twin Slash, then buff to reset, and then Twin Slash again. Then Swift Feather Spike while my buff is still boosting my damage. Then I spam my Imprison Raid and Shadow Flash for some damage. Then do my normal attacks and wait for my attacks to come off cooldown. When the boss is about to attack me, I do a quick run bottom at the bottom to dodge. Now here the buff is active, but Twin Slash is on cooldown. I wait since I want the double Twin Slash combo. I do Twin Slash, then buff, then Twin Slash quickly, then Swift Feather Spike. Then I just keep repeating. When the cat paws refresh, then I use them again. Now one thing is I do this on manual. I found on auto it kind of screws up my timing, although this build does work on auto if you're lazy to do it. Especially for the dailies, I definitely put on auto. Now near the end I messed up my attack button since I was playing on an emulator and was spamming the quick run, so I could have squeezed in some extra damage, but getting 10 million was fine by me. I had tested on many builds, and the damage on this was much higher than my other builds, so this is why I stuck with it. I would highly recommend you use this for testing your skill allocation. You can try mine, but feel free to tweak it as needed for PvE. Now the great thing about testing on the Territory Guardian is these stats. If I click on my name, then details, I can see a breakdown of which skills did the most damage. This was how I determined the other 100 skills didn't perform as well, and that allowed me to max out the stuff that gave me the most damage over time. So for me, Swift Feather Spike and Twin Slash were dominating, so I invested more in that. Also, you can see the normal attacks also do a ton too. You can also see here your crit. Mine is bad at 15.2%, so it's definitely something I need to invest in more. So if you're looking for a hunter build, you can try mine. Make sure to test it out to understand the skill rotation and see if it fits your style and meets your expectations. Let me know if you have any feedback or comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Here's the video that I recommend, and if you want more Trio Saver Neo content, check out this playlist over here.